You probably clicked on this thumbnail thinking golf is the calmest, most soothing game ever. I mean, how could anyone get angry playing golf, right? Well, get ready, because no game is immune to frustration. Think about it. Hitting a birdie over and over but missing every time. Or your putter deciding it's having a bad day and making you look like a total amateur.
It's not a good look, but hey.
And what about landing in a bunker and every hit just makes things worse? You'd be fuming, right? Well, these players didn't just get angry. They went full-on rage mode in ways you wouldn't believe. These usually calm golfers turned into absolute beasts when frustration hit. Today, I'm sharing 10 epic moments that will make you see your favorite players in a whole new light. So stick around till the end, and if you're enjoying this wild ride, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got tons more crazy stories lined up for you. When talking about intense rage moments, it's impossible not to mention Rory McIlroy. He's one of the best in the field, but when his rage hits, it's like he becomes a different person. Rory McIlroy's 3-iron meltdown at the WGC Cadillac Championship was a spectacular combination of mounting frustration and one disastrous shot. On the par 5 8th hole, he was having a rough day and his 3-iron shot went completely off target. That shot was the straw that broke the camel's back. In a moment of pure frustration, Rory hurled his 3-iron into the water. It was a spontaneous act, a raw release of the tension that had been building from his subpar performance and the relentless pressure to meet his high standards. But when you're angry, you just gotta let it out sometimes. We all get that. But doing damage to others? That's a big no, and yet, that's exactly what Sergio Garcia did, whether consciously or unconsciously. The Saudi international bunker incident involving Sergio Garcia is one of the most shocking displays of rage in golf history. It was 2019, the Saudi International, and Garcia's frustration reached a boiling point in a bunker. Known for his fiery temperament, Garcia completely loses control. After a series of poor shots, he furiously attacks the bunker, swiping at the sand and slamming his club like he's auditioning for a demolition job. But it didn't stop there. Garcia's tantrum spilled over to the greens. He went on a rampage, deliberately damaging 5 greens in fits of anger. His behavior was so off the charts destructive that he got himself disqualified from the tournament. And sometimes, in those heated moments of rage, you don't just damage other people's property, you end up hurting yourself too, and boy, do you regret it later. Take the example of Henrik Stenson during the 2019 British Open. He had one of those epic moments of frustration that ended in a pretty dramatic display of anger. Stenson is out there on the course, and he shanks a shot. It's one of those horrible mishits that veers sharply off target, messing up his whole game plan and his chances in the tournament. In that split second, you could see his frustration skyrocket. Stenson, usually the epitome of cool-headedness, just couldn't keep it together. So, he snaps his club over his knee, breaking it clean in 2. The immediate aftermath was a mix of shock and pain, and not just emotional pain. Snapping a club over your knee? That takes some serious force, and it clearly hurts. You could see it on Stenson's face. The physical pain of breaking the club, combined with the emotional toll of losing control, was written all over him. Well, it seems like hurting yourself is a common theme in golf rage, and no story highlights this better than Woody Austin's infamous meltdown during the 1997 Verizon Heritage Tournament. This one's a doozy. So, Austin's out there grinding through his round, and he misses a putt. That missed putt was like the last straw on a camel's back. Instead of the usual club toss or ground slam, Austin takes a more, let's say, unique approach. In a moment of sheer frustration, he slams his putter against his own head. Yep, you read that right. He hit himself so hard that the club actually bent on impact. The sound of the metal meeting skull was as alarming as it gets, and everyone around him froze. You could practically hear a collective gasp from the spectators and his fellow players. The frustration had been building all day, and missing that putt on the 17th hole was the tipping point. Austin, known for his passionate and sometimes volatile temperament, just snapped. Instead of directing his anger at the course or his equipment, he turned it on himself, creating one of the most unforgettable moments in golf history. Now, before I tell you about the most rageful moment of the 21st century, I think you should hit that subscribe button. If you've made it this far, I'm pretty sure you don't want to miss what we've got coming up next. But some people think turning your anger on yourself is foolish, so they find a handy target to unload on instead. Tommy Bolt, or Terrible Tommy as he was known, mastered this art with his infamous caddy incident. Bolt was notorious for his temper tantrums, and this particular episode is one for the books. So there's Bolt, having one of those days where nothing's going right. His shots are all over the place, and his frustration is mounting by the minute. Instead of taking a deep breath and calming down, he decides to let his rage fly. And who's the unlucky recipient? His caddy. Poor guy never saw it coming. After a particularly awful shot, Bolt snaps. In a moment of sheer fury, he hurls his club at his caddy. It's not just a casual toss, it's an aggressive, full-force throw that could have seriously injured the caddy. Bolt is seething. The caddy is probably wondering if he should have picked a safer profession. This incident cemented Bolt's reputation as Terrible Tommy, a guy who didn't just lose his cool, but did it in a way that put others at risk. In a case of, let's take our frustration out on someone else, we have the altercation between Keenan Davids and Christian Bezuidenhout during the 2020 Sunshine Tour in South Africa. This rare physical confrontation in the usually genteel world of golf is one for the books. Think about it like you're on the course, where tensions are high because, let's face it, golf can be a pressure cooker. Davidsa and Bezuidenhout were both feeling the heat, and their competitive spirits clashed big time. It started with a verbal exchange. Now, no one knows exactly what was said, but whatever it was, it struck a nerve. These guys were already on edge, trying to outplay each other, and their argument quickly escalated. The verbal jabs turned into shoves and pushes. Right there on the fairway, golf, known for its etiquette and sportsmanship, suddenly looked more like a scene from a hockey game. Other players and officials quickly jumped in to break up the scuffle. The whole thing was so unexpected and out of place in the world of professional golf that it left everyone around them stunned. And then, there's that famous clip you might have seen of a guy chucking his putter into a lake. If you've ever thought, whoa, that could have taken someone's head off if it wasn't for the water, then you're thinking of John Daly at the 1998 Bay Hill Invitational. Daly, known for his monster drives and equally monstrous temper, just lost it on the greens. He missed a putt that he felt he should have nailed, and in a fit of sheer frustration, he hurled his putter straight into the lake. It was one of those moments that perfectly captured Daly's struggle to keep his cool under the relentless pressure of professional golf. But wait, there's more! During the 1997 US Open, Daly's temper made another headline-worthy appearance. After a lousy shot, his frustration bubbled over once again. Unable to keep his anger in check, he snapped his club over his knee. Yeah, he was inspired by Stenson. Next on the list, we've got Victor Dubuisson during the 2014 WGC Accenture Match Play Championship. Dubuisson found himself in a bunker, and things went south fast. This incident was a classic case of a golfer losing his cool under high pressure. Sometimes, when you don't want to hurt yourself, you look for someone lower in rank to take the brunt of your anger. Tyrrell Hatton is a perfect example of this. During the 2017 Alfred Dunhill Links Championship, Hatton's fiery temper was in full swing. Frustrated with his performance, he let his caddy have it. In a memorable outburst, he tore into his caddy, blaming him for what he saw as bad advice or just plain inadequate support. This was just one of many times Hatton's intense emotions boiled over, leading him to lash out verbally. And last, but not least, we have Scotty Sheffer at the 2021 PGA Championship. Normally, Scheffler is the picture of calm on the course, but even he has his breaking points. During a crucial part of the tournament, Scheffler missed a key shot, one that was vital for keeping his competitive edge. Under the intense pressure of the championship, he snapped. In an uncharacteristic outburst, he slammed his club into the ground, leaving a noticeable divot. This rare display of frustration from Scheffler highlighted just how intense the pressure can be in major tournaments, showing that even the steadiest players can have their moments of losing it. But hey, did we miss something? Have you seen a rage moment that was even crazier? If you have, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us the story you can't forget and the scene you think tops them all. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because we're all about bringing you the most amazing stories you won't find anywhere else.